are condemned in the words of Srimad Bhagavatam as stone-hearted. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has commented on their stone-hearted condition as follows. Bahir ashru pulakayo satorapi yat drudayan na vikriyeta tat ashmasaram iti kanishtadhikarinam eva ashrupulakadimatve api ashmasara hridayataya nindaisha. Those who shed tears by practice, but whose hearts have not changed, are to be known as stone-hearted devotees of the lowest grade. Their imitation crying, induced by artificial practice, is always condemned. The desired change of heart referred to above is visible in the reluctance to do anything not congenial to the devotional way. To create such a change of heart, conclusive discussion about Sri Krishna and his potencies is absolutely necessary. False devotees may think that simply shedding tears will lead one to the transcendental plane, even if one has not had a factual change in heart, but such a practice is useless if there is no transcendental realization. False devotees, lacking the conclusion of transcendental knowledge, think that artificially shedding tears will deliver them. Similarly, other false devotees think that studying books of the previous acharyas is unadvisable, like studying dry empiric philosophies. But Srila Jiva Goswami, following the previous acharyas, has inculcated the conclusions of the scriptures in the six, these called the such sandarbhas. False devotees who have very little knowledge of such conclusions fail to achieve pure devotion for want of zeal in accepting the favorable directions for devotional service given by self-realized devotees. Such false devotees are like impersonalists who also consider devotional service no better than ordinary fruitive actions. So here, Srila Gurudev also was telling, and Srila Swami Maharaj also telling, that we should study the works of previous acharyas. Like Srila Gurudev, he always used to write commentaries on the works of previous acharyas. He was to get them translated, he used to proofread them, he used to publish them. He published volumes of books, especially Bhagavatamrita Kana, the summary study of Bhagavatamritam, Lagu Bhagavatamritam, or Srimad Bhagavatam itself, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Bindu, and Ujjwal Neelamani Kiran. All these books, Srila Gurudev got them edited, translated. So he did great seva to the Sampradaya and to our Acharyas. So future generations will remain eternally indebted to Srila Gurudev, Srila Dandi Maharaj. All the great Acharyas were always busy in editing and publishing books. चैतन्य महिमा जानिए सब सिद्धांते चित्त दृढ़ हैया लागे महिमा ज्ञान होइते. Chaitanya Mahima, the glory of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jani, I know, these sub all Siddhante, by the conclusions, Chitta, the mind, Druda, form, Haya, becoming, Lage, becomes fixed, Mahima Jnana, knowledge of the greatness, Haite, from. By such conclusive studies, I know the glories of Lord Chaitanya. Only by knowing these glories can one become strong and fixed in attachment to him. One can know the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only by reaching in knowledge a conclusive decision about Sri Krishna, strengthened by a bona fide study of the conclusions of the Acharyas. Chaitanya Prabhura Mahima Kahi Bare Tare Krishnera Mahima Kahi Kariya Vistare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mahima, the glories, Kahi Bara Tare. For the purpose of speaking, Krishnera of Lord Krishna, Mahima, the glories, Kahi, I speak, doing Vistare in expansion. Just to initiate the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I have tried to describe the glories of Sri Krishna in detail. Chaitanya Gosai Tattva Nirupana Swayam Bhagavan Krishna Brajendra Nandana. Chaitanya Gosai of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this tattva of the truth, Nirupana, settling. Swayam Bhagavana, himself the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, Lord Krishna, Vrajendranandana, the son of the king of Vraja. The conclusion is that Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, the son of the king of Vraja. Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Jara Asha Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Dasa. So amazing. Shri Rupa. Shri Rupa means Shri Rupa Goswami. Shri Rupa Goswami. Raghunath. Shri Raghunath Das Goswami. Pade, at the lotus feet. Chara, whose Asha, expectation. Chaitanya Charitamrita, the book named Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kahe describes Krishna Dasa, Srila Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I Krishnadas narrate Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila, second chapter, describing Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now we are beginning chapter 3, the external reasons for the appearance of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this chapter, the author has fully discussed the external reasons for the descent of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, after displaying his pastimes as Lord Krishna, thought it wise to make his advent in the form of a devotee to explain personally the transcendental mellows of reciprocal service and love exchange between himself and his servants, friends, parents, and fiancés. According to the Vedic literature, the foremost occupational duty for humanity in this age of Kali is Nama Sankirtan, or congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord. The incarnation for this age especially preaches this process, but only Krishna himself can explain the confidential loving service performed in the four principal varieties of loving affairs between the Supreme Lord and his devotees. Lord Krishna therefore personally appeared with his plenary portions as Lord Chaitanya, as stated in this chapter. It was for this purpose that Lord Krishna appeared personally in Navadvip in the form of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami has herein presented much authentic evidence from Srimad Bhagavatam and other scriptures to substantiate the identity of Lord Chaitanya with Sri Krishna himself. He has described bodily symptoms in Lord Chaitanya that are visible only in the person of the Supreme Lord, and he has proved that Lord Chaitanya appeared with his personal associates, Shri Nityananda, Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar Pandit, Shivas Pandit, and other devotees. He has proved that Lord Chaitanya appeared to preach the special significance of chanting Hare Krishna. The appearance of Lord Chaitanya is both significant and confidential. He can be appreciated only by pure devotees and only through the process of devotional service. The Lord tried to conceal his identity as the Supreme Personality of Godhead by representing himself as a devotee. But his pure devotees could recognize him by his special features. The Vedas and Puranas foretell the appearance of Lord Chaitanya, but still he is sometimes called significantly the concealed descent of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Basically, it's called Channa Avatar, concealed incarnation. Advaita Acharya was a contemporary of Lord Chaitanya's father. He felt sorry for the condition of the world because even after Lord Krishna's appearance, no one had interest in devotional service to Krishna. This forgetfulness was so overwhelming that Advaita Prabhu was convinced that no one but Lord Krishna himself could enlighten people about devotional service to the Supreme Lord. Therefore, Advaita requested Lord Krishna to appear as Lord Chaitanya, offering tulsi leaves and Ganges water He cried for the Lord's appearance. The Lord, being satisfied by his pure devotees, descends to satisfy them. As such, being pleased by Advaita Acharya, Lord Chaitanya appeared. Text 1. Shri Chaitanya Prabhum Bande Yat Padashraya Viryata Sangrunati Akara Vratad Adnya Siddhanta Sanmanin. Shri Chaitanya Prabhu, to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Bande, offer my respectful obeisances. Yat, of whom Pada Ashraya, of the shelter of the lotus feet, Viryataha, from the power, Sangrunati, collects, Akara Ratat, from the multitude of minds in the form of scriptures, Adnyaha, a fool, Siddhanta, of conclusion, San Manin, the best jewels. I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by the potency of the shelter of his lotus feet. Even a fool can collect the valuable jewels of conclusive truths from the minds of revealed scriptures. So basically, it's actually in India, there are so many scriptures. In Jayabadharma also we'll see that there is a discussion about Devi Bhagavad and other things. But we'll see that what is most valuable jewel, that only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or anyone like our Gurudev or Sripad Dandi Maharaj, they can only tell us what is the most valuable jewel. Those who don't come in this Guru Parampara, they don't know. It is very, very important to hear attentively the classes of Srila Gurudev, Sripad Dandi Maharaj and other Vaishnavas, because they can tell us about the valuable jewels of conclusive truth. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai, all glories Shri Chaitanya, to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Jai, all glories Nityananda, to Lord Nityananda Jai, all glories Advaita Chandra, to Advaita Acharya Jai, all glories Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Lord Chaitanya, all glories to Lord Nityananda, all glories to Advaita Chandra, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Tritiya shlokera artha kaila vivaran, chaturtha shlokera artha shuna bhaktagan. Tritiya, the third, shlokera of the verse, artha meaning, kaila, there was, vivarana, description. Chaturtha, fourth, shlokera of the verse, artha meaning, shuna, please hear, bhaktagana, O devotees. I have given the purport of the third verse. Now, O devotees, please listen to the meaning of the fourth with full attention. Anarpita charim chirat karunaya pratirna kalau samarpayitumunnato chudarasam sabhakti shriyam Hari Purata Sundara Dyuti Kadamba Sandipita Sada Rudaya Kandare Spuratuva Shachinandana Anarpita, not bestowed, Charim, having been formerly Chirat for a long time, Karunaya, by causeless mercy, Avatiranaha, descended, Kalu, in the age of Kali, Samarpayitum, to bestow, Unnata, elevated, Ujjvala Rasam, the conjugal melo, Sabhakti, of his own service, Shriyam, the treasure, Harihi, the supreme lord, Purata, then gold, Sundara, more beautiful, Dyutihi, of splendor, Kadamba, with multitude, Sandipitaha, illuminated, Sadaha, always, Hridaya Kandare, in the cavity of the heart, Spuratu, let him be manifest, Vaha, Shachinandana, the son of Mother Shachi. May the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Shachi Devi, Be transcendently situated in the innermost core of your heart, resplendent with the radiance of molten gold. He has descended in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow that no incarnation has ever offered before, the most elevated mellow of devotional service, the mellow of conjugal love. This is a quotation from the Vidagdha Madhav 1.2, a drama compiled and edited by Srila Rupa Goswami. So basically, this verse is Srila Gurudev is oft-quoted verse. Srila Gurudev used to love this verse, and he always used to speak about this verse. And he's he explained this verse many times. Anarpita Chirim Chirat. So here it is told that if your objective is to attain what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give, Vraja Prem and Unnato Jala Bhava, then come with me to the school of Srila Rupa Goswami. Read all the Goswami literature and learn how to develop transcendental creed for this. There are no rules and regulations regarding the attainment of this spiritual creed. It can come by associating and hearing from a bona fide Vaishnava. It will not come by Shastric scriptural arguments alone. Understand? Here Srila Gurudev is telling that it is very important to hear Harikatha. We should always try to hear Harikatha from elevated Vaishnavas. We are very fortunate that Srila Gurudev's Katha is coming online always in Gaudiya Rasamrita, WhatsApp group, Telegram. Also, Sripad Dandi Maharaj is giving class almost daily now, mercifully in this month of Kartik. Very fortunate. You can tune in that. And if you cannot tune in, you can always listen to the recording later if you are busy during that time. It's very important to hear this Katha. A very ugly, deformed, poor person may see a beautiful princess. Now, Srila Gurudev's very favorite example. There is a very ugly beggar in India, very poor person, deformed. His body has so many deformities. He sees a very beautiful princess, Princess Diana. Now, Diana is no more, but Gurudev used to give an example. He may have some intense desire to make her his wife. Now, he sees a princess and he wants to marry her. Now, it's quite unlikely that, a princess would marry a beggar, especially one who has bodily deformities and who's very ugly. Although this would be impossible, for that greed or yearning, no wealth or other qualifications is required. It cannot be regulated. It means that a beggar, a pauper, bankrupt person who's very ugly, he wants to marry a very pretty, rich princess. Although it is impossible, there is no cost for desiring so. You can desire whatever you like. Understand? You can desire. How does it cost? Suppose I desire that, let me have, 50-story building in Manhattan where I can establish a preaching center for Krishna consciousness. Does it cost any money to establish, to desire like this? Not. You can say, maybe I should have very big temple of Lord Krishna on Marine Drive in Mumbai, which is like very expensive area, also called Queen's Necklace. But as such, we cannot even purchase 1 square inch of land there in Marine Drive with the kind of money we have. But you can desire. Nothing can stop you from desiring. So if you desire, I want that very high class moods of Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, and that particular Manjari Bhav, Unnato Jola Rasa, the beauty of the mood of Srimati Radharani. Who can stop you? No one can stop you. So spiritual greed is acquired by hearing about the beauty of Sri Krishna and the affection of gopis for him, as described by Srila Rupa Goswami. Now let us try to understand how Rukmini developed love for Sri Krishna. Rukmini developed love for Sri Krishna because she heard about the beauty of Sri Krishna from Narad Muni. Understand? Anyone, even Mathura Ramanis, they heard about the beauty of Krishna from Pulindi girls. and they develop attraction for Krishna. So Harikatha is so powerful. Mm. The Srimad Bhagavatam reveals how Sri Krishna is controlled by the gopis. Srila Rupa Goswami describes, now Srila Gurudev is telling that Bhagavatam has described how Krishna is controlled by the gopis. No one can control him like the gopis. Yashoda can control him to some degree. But Radharani and gopis, they can control him completely. And there are proofs. Na pareham nirapatti samyujam. This verse is a proof that Krishna says, I cannot repay you. So Sri Rupa Goswami describes how Krishna places his head at the feet of Radhika and begs her, please give me your mercy. Sumaragarala khandanam, mama shirasi mandanam, dehi pada pallavamudaram, jalati mai daruno madana kadananalo, haratu tadupahita vikaram. Krishna prays like this. Gita Govinda says. By hearing from a pure devotee about the topics contained in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and the books of Rupa Goswami, spiritual greed may come, whether one is qualified for it or not. So this is the power of Chaitanya Charitamrita and these Rasika books like Ujjwal Nilamani, Vidakta Mahadava, and Prema Samput, Chamatkar Chandrika. If we hear about them, we are very fortunate that myself, Sripad Dandi Maharaj, and all the elevated Vaishnavas, like Sripad Dandi Maharaj, they heard from Srila Gurudev. I am the lowest and most unqualified, but I am very fortunate that I could hear to Srila Gurudev's exalted lectures in the company of elevated Vaishnavas like Sripad Bhaktivedanta Dandi Maharaj, Sripad Bhaktivedanta Ashram Maharaj, Sripad Bhaktivedanta Padmanabh Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Nemi Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Bhagavad Maharaj, all these elevated Vaishnavas. I am also sitting among them and hearing Srila Gurudev's Katha. So, Srimati Shyamarani Didi, they are very exalted Vaishnavas and they all were present and hearing from Gurudev. So, we are all very fortunate. When that spiritual greed comes, one becomes qualified to choose his means of achieving the goal. And that means is called sadhana. Understand? So, what is sadhana? First, we have to know the goal. What is our goal? And that's why if you don't know the goal, then what you do is not called sadhana. Understand? He immediately achieves ruchi, the stage of relish, and gallops towards his goal. So basically, Srila Gurudev is telling again that when there are so many anarthas, lust, greed, anger, madness, envy, but they won't trouble you if you come to the stage of nishtha, that unwavering faith in Krishna Nam. What to speak of the next stage, ruchi, the taste for chanting the holy name and harikatha, if it comes, then these anarthas really cannot bother you. So those who practice sadhan bhajan of Lord Krishna out of fear of going to hell are performing what is called Vaidhi Bhakti. A lot of people actually, they are very afraid of going to hell. Understand? And scriptures describe actually that how even little bit of bhakti can save you from going to hell. Like for example, a story comes that Akshaya Tritiya day, one sannyasi came to the house of a Brahmana, learned person. And Brahman refused to give him even water or any food or place to sit. But his wife of the Brahmana, she told that, see, he's a sannyasi. If we cannot even offer him a glass of water, what is the use of our human life and our wealth? Let us give him one glass of water. And the wife of that Brahmana, she offered him one glass of cold water to drink. That sannyasi drank that water and he left. After some days, that Brahman died. And the messengers of hell, Yamadutas, they came and they dragged away the soul of this Brahmana. They took him to hell through a very torturous path. On the way, he was thirsty, but he wasn't given any water. He had to walk on the path which was hot like red hot charcoals. His feet were burning, he was thirsty, He was asking again and again for water, but the messengers of death, Yamadutas, they were not giving him one drop of water. Finally, they brought him to Yamaraj. And then Yamaraj said, give him some water. They said, the messengers of Yamaraj told, no, he has not served any guest, even a sannyasi. Sannyasi came to his house but didn't give him in water. Why should we give him water? And then Yamaraj said, no. On the day of Akshaya Tritiya, very auspicious day, his wife gave one glass of water to a sannyasi. She didn't listen to this Brahmana, miserly Brahmana, and she nevertheless gave one glass of water to sannyasi. So please release him and give him water. So immediately he was released from the clutches of the Yamadutas and he was given water to drink. That Brahman drank the water, he felt some relief and he folded his hands and he asked Yamaraj, what is the duty of a person on the day of Akshaya Tritiya? Then Yamaraj told him that one must give charity on Akshaya Tritiya day. One must do Nam Kirtan, stay awake in the night. Whatever auspicious and bhakti activities you can do, you should do, and that will save you from hell. So you see that Brahmana's wife gave one glass of water, but that saved her husband from the hellish torment. How auspicious is Akshaya Tritiya day? So when we read such statements from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Padma Puran, Skanda Puran, we develop faith in Ekadashi. Understand? But there is a higher aspect to these statements. One should develop spontaneous bhakti, spontaneous loving devotional service. Raganuga Bhakti Pravritti is the stage of practicing sadhan bhajan when the spiritual greed to enter Raganuga Bhakti has arisen in the heart. Devotees in Raganuga Pravritti have not reached the stage of bhava, the first sprout of pure love of God, but they are developing some transcendental greed and will eventually become qualified to practice Raganuga Bhakti. The word Pravritti means about to enter. Such devotees are not practicing Raganuga yet, but they are approaching it. So, for example, I want to go to United States for getting admission in some university, Carnegie Mellon or Harvard or Oxford. I have to pass one exam, GRE, and then also TOEFL, a test of English as foreign language, and this and that. Then only, and then seeing my scorecard in my graduate engineering exam or something, they will give me admission or reject me. So qualification is seen in even in mundane sphere, what to speak of spiritual sphere. The practice of Raganuga Bhakti enables one to become one of Sri Krishna's Ragatmik associates, his friends and relatives in Golok or in Vrindavan. Understand? So if you perform Raganuga Bhakti, you will become an associate of Sri Krishna, like Sridham, Dham, Vasudham, Lalita, Vishakha, Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, like this. You will not become Yashoda, you will not become Sridham, you will not become Radharani. That is, if you think that I am Yashoda, I am Lalita, then that is called Ahangra Upasana. That is called Ahangra Upasana. But we will become their followers. Understand? So, but if you do Raganuga Bhakti, then only you will become Ragatmika Jana of Krishna. If you don't do Raganuga Bhakti, only do Vaidhi Bhakti, then that Vaidhi Bhakti may take you to Vaikuntha planet, save you from hell. Obviously, we should not show total disregard for Vaidhi Bhakti also. Understand? Because if you show total disregard for Vaidhi Bhakti, you will not even follow Ekadashi. They say, I am doing Raganuga Bhakti, so I am not going to do Ekadashi. I am not going to get up for Mangalarti. I am not going to do Archan of the deity. No. We must continue our Vaidhi Bhakti, but with the aim and object of achieving Raganuga Bhakti. So those who have Raga, deep attachment for the object of one's affection, are Ragatmika, associates of the Lord in his abode. Those who are just reaching the stage of Bhava are called Raganuga. For example, who is Ragatmika? Radharani is Ragatmika. When Mother Yashoda bound Krishna by the rope, She is looking from the corner how Mother Yashoda has bound him. And she thought, oh, maybe for little butter Mother Yashoda has bound him. Every day I will make very sweet butter so he never have to steal and never get bound again. That's why Satyavrat Muni says that how Radharani is looking at Krishna, glancing lovingly, and Krishna is satisfied by her glance. That's why he says, Namastestu Dhamne, Spurat Dipti Dhamne, Tadiyo Darayatha Vishwasya Dhamne. Namo Radhikai, Tadiya Priyai, Namo Ananta Lilai Devai Tabhyam. So Radharani is Ragatmika. Yashoda is Ragatmika. Mukhara is Ragatmika. Understand? Radharani is grandmother. And we want to follow in their footsteps. Understand? And those who are reaching the stage of Bhava Raganuga. So we are not Raganuga yet, but we are aspiring for that. We are aspiring to enter the school of Raganuga Bhakti. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu especially came to give this transcendental greed. For those who already have this greed, he came to give Bhava. For those who have Bhava, he came to give Unnata Jala Prema, and not in the category of Sambhogatmika. Understand? So basically, even Raganuga Bhakti is two types. Sambhogatmika and Tattat Bhavichhamai. Understand? So, we have Sambandhatmika. Understand? So, but even in that, we are not even interested in Sambandhatmika, like the residents of Dwarka. But even in the special case of Brajavasis, Sambhogatmika, we don't want. That is Radha's mood. Radha's mood is Sambodhatmika. But in the category of Tattat Bhavichatmika, the Manjari's mood. Try to understand this topic. Means if any Manjari will be requested by Krishna for association or enjoyment, she will reject. And she will run to Radharani, please protect me from Krishna's glance. Understand? And Radharani will protect that Manjari. Means they have no desire for Sambhogatmika, to enjoy with Krishna separately from Radharani. But they want only to serve Radharani. Understand? Try to understand this topic, Srila Gurudev is telling. After 10 or 20 years or in the future life, by being in the association of elevated Vaishnavas, you'll realize something of this. Those who have spiritual greed for Ragatmika Bhakti will think like this. I want the mood of Raganuga. I am not a Raganuga Vaishnava, but I pray that in some future life, even in thousands of life from now, I may receive the mercy of Raganuga Vaishnava. I pray that someday will come. I want nothing other than this. I don't mind dying. I would rather die than drink water from any ghat, bathing place, other than Keshi Ghat or Mansi Ganga Ghat. I will only go to a ghat where the gopis, the Tattat Bhavi Chatmika gopis, are serving Shri Radha and Krishna. So basically, this is the mood like a Chataka bird. Chataka bird says, I don't want water from a well, a river, a lake, even ocean. I want water only from the rainwater. Similarly, a devotee would think, I don't want water from any ghat, only from Keshi Ghat, from Mansi Ganga. Or maybe I want from Bharakona Ghat, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performs sweet pastimes. I will surrender to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his pastimes, so that I can gain entry into Krishna's pastimes. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has opened a school of Krishna Bhaktas in Navadvip. So I will only want Navadvip or Vrindavan. The verse beginning Anarpita Charim Chirat is from Mangalacharana, Sri Rupa Goswami's book Vidagdha Madhav. Understand? So actually this particular verse, Srila Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is quoted from the Mangalacharan. When you write actually in a book, then you have to write Mangalacharan, auspicious invocation. Like Rupa Goswami has written Padyavali. In that only he has written auspicious invocation. So like this, he has written this Anarpita Charimcharit. Amazing verse. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inspired Rupa Goswami in Prayag. You should fulfill my wishes. You should explain why I have come. Explain what I have come to give and what I have come to practice myself. Prayag. Yag means sacrifice. Prakrishta rupena yag. Complete sacrifice. Sarvatma snapanam. That is Prayag. So that wonderful place, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained at the Shashwamedh Ghat to Rupa Goswami this esoteric philosophy. And he said, you should write the books. What is my aim and object? Why I came to this world? The Unnatotvala Parakya Bhav of the gopis. Understand? Actually, Parikrama was going on, and one devotee, one Brajavasi, Panda, he told Radharani Mateshwari. He addressed Radharani as Mateshwari, means our mother. And Srila Gurudev told that, why you are calling her Mateshwari? Mother. Yes, as per the Siddhanta, she is our mother. No doubt about it. But I wouldn't call her Mateshwari because no one in Braj thinks Radharani is mother. Everyone thinks that Radharani is daughter of Rishabhanu Maharaj. She is like our daughter. She is our Lali. She is our beloved to us. The gopis think that she is our friend. Krishna thinks that she is her beloved. She wanted to get married too. They wanted actually. Rishabhanu Maharaj, Nanda Maharaj wanted to marry Radha and Krishna. But Yogamaya told it will not be auspicious if they get married. Rather, I see a very aristocratic boy from aristocratic family. His name is Ayan Ghosh, Abhimanyu. Get married her to him. So Yogamaya arranged the marriage between Ayan Ghosh, Abhimanyu, so that Radharani's Parakya mood can be fulfilled. The desire of Radharani to associate with Krishna in Parakya Bhav can be fulfilled. That's why Gopika says, Patisutan Bayan Bratru Bandhavan Ati Vilangyate Anti Achyutangata Gati Vidastavod Gita Mohita Gitavayoshita Kastya Jannishi. If Bhagavatam is the most authoritative book, it says that gopis abandon their husbands also to meet Krishna. So that is Parakyaras. Even forsaking their husbands, and they came to meet Krishna. You should know that this mood is unparalleled even in Golok Vrindavan. What to speak of this world? This prema is Nitya Dharma, eternal nature of all living entities, not just those in human bodies. So this mood is very rare. This mood is so rare. Vaikuntha Janita Varamadupari Tatrapi Rasotsavad Vrindaranyamudara Pani Ramanat Tatrapi Govardhanat Radha Kundamiham Prema Mrita Plavanat Kuryadasya Virajato Giridate Seva Vivekinaga. Oh, superior to Vaikuntha is Mathura, where Krishna took birth from Devaki. Then superior to that is Gokul, where Krishna took birth from Yashoda in his original form as Vajanandan Shyamsundar Krishna. Even superior to this Gokul is Barshana Nandagaon, and superior to Barshana Nandagaon is Vrindavan, where Krishna's Shardiya Ras, Panchayati Ras took place. Superior to that place of Shardiya or Panchayati Ras is Govardhan, where so many sweet pastimes and Vasanti Ras of Sri Krishna took place at Surdas Goswami's Samadhi near Chandra Sarovar. And then even superior, where Radha Kunda and Shyam Kunda, which are the eyes of Giraj Govardhan, is there. Radha Kunda and Shyam Kunda, the best friend of Giraj Govardhan, and who have embraced each other's necks. That Radha Kunda is the topmost place. So that place, Radha Kunda and Shyam Kunda, is the seat of Swananda Sukhat Kunja, is the seat of unparalleled love, very rare love. So that is actually we are trying to understand. Rupanuga and Raganuga. Palyadasi kari lalita sundari amare laiya kabe Shiradhika pade kale milaibe Agya seva samarpibe Agya seva samarpibe Agya seva samarpibe Amare laiya kobe. When will beautiful Srimati Lalita Devi foster me as her own novice maidservant? Hopefully, she will train and eventually offer me unto the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, placing me entirely at her disposal for rendering various services according to her own merciful orders. Shirupa Manjari Sange Jabo Kabe Rasa Seva Shiksha Tore Tadanuga Hoye Radha Kunda Tate Rahivo Harshitantore Rahivo Harshitantore Rahivo Harshitantore Rasa Seva Shiksha Tore. When will Shri Rupa Manjari take me to the banks of Shri Radha Kunda to give me lessons in the performance of services to transcendental mellows? She will take me there and make me practice by following her instructions and movements. Thus I will pass my time feeling the greatest delight within my heart. Shri Vishakha Pade Sangita Shikhibo Krishna Leela Rasamaya Shri Rati Manjari Shri Rasa Manjari Haibe Sabe Sadaya. At the lotus feet of Shri Vishakha, I learned to play music and sing songs which are full of the transcendental mellows of Krishna's pastimes. And all the Sakhis in our group, including Shri Rati Manjari and Shri Rasa Manjari, will also welcome me into their fold with the most kind and affectionate dealings. Paramanande Sakale Miliya Radhika Charane Rabo Ei Parakashta Siddhika Behabe Paburadha Pada Sava. All of us will thus stay together, feeling the greatest supreme bliss, will perpetually remain at the lotus feet of Shri Radhika. When, oh, when will I achieve this highest excellence of spiritual perfection, whereby I will attain the intoxicating honey flowing from the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani? Bhaktivinoda Thakur Gita Mala, Song 4. There is a difference between Rupanuga and Raganuga. Those who are eternally liberated associates serving Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan are called Ragatmika. They are described by Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and Ujjwal Nilamani. In this world, those who want to serve the Ragatmikas are called Raganuga because they are followers of the path of Raga or loving attachment. Raganuga devotees have transcendental greed for Vraja Bhakti and are truly following the process to attain it. Rupanuga Bhaktas are only those who follow the same manner and mood in which Shri Rupa Manjari serves Radha and Krishna. Although Shri Rupa Manjari serves both Radha and Krishna, she is more inclined towards Srimati Radhika, happy in the happiness of Srimati Radhika and suffering like her when she suffers. Internally, in their constitutional forms, the Rupanuga Bhaktas serve in the same mood as Shri Rupa Manjari. And externally, they practice the same devotional activities as Rupa Goswami. So basically, we try to understand what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give. May the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Sachi Devi, be transcendentally situated in the innermost core of your heart. Resplendent with the radiance of molten gold, he has descended in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before. The most elevated male of devotional service, the male of conjugal love. So, this is the quote from Sri Vidagdha Madhav. Vidagdha Madhav, amazing book. Text 5. Purna Bhagavan Krishna Brajendra Kumar Golok Brajera Sah Nitya Vihar. Purna means full. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. Vrajendra Kumar, the son of the king of Vraja. Goloke, in Golok. Vrajera Saha, along with Vrajadham. Nitya, eternal Vihar, pastimes. Lord Krishna, the son of the king of Vraja, is the Supreme Lord. He eternally enjoys transcendental pastimes in his eternal abode, Golok, which includes Vrajadham. In the previous chapter, it has been established that Krishna, the son of Rajendra, the king of Vraja, is the supreme personality of Godhead with 6 opulences. He eternally enjoys transcendental variegated opulences on his planet, which is known as Golok. The eternal pastimes of the Lord in the spiritual planet Krishna Loka are called aprakat or unmanifested pastimes because they are beyond the purview of the conditioned souls. Lord Krishna is always present everywhere, but when he is not present before our eyes, he is said to be aprakat or unmanifested. So actually, in Golok Vrindavan, we cannot go to Golok Vrindavan, not possible for us. But therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, very merciful. What he did, he actually appeared with this, all his associates to Navadvip Dham, which is not different from Goloka Dham. And he bestowed that prema on all the living entities. Understand? This is the mercy of Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Daya Kori Swaparshada Sviya Dhama Sahabatari. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being merciful to all the living beings, descended with his own divine abode and personal associates. Atyanta durlabha prema karibare dana shikhaya sharanagati bhakater prana. To bestow freely that rarest treasure, prema bhakti, spontaneous love, he taught Sharanagati, the life and soul of the devotees. Understand? So Sharanagati is the entrance in bhakti life. Sharanagata. We should be surrendered. Then we will be qualified to go to Golok Vrindavan. We cannot see the unmanifest pastimes of Sri Krishna Aprakat Leela, but we can hear about them. We can hear Sri Krishna's Bhauma Leela also. Bhauma Leela is very merciful. The pastimes he performed 5,000 years ago in Vrindavan Dham and 500 years ago in Navadvip Dham and Jagannath Puri. This is his Bhauma Leela. This is also very merciful. By hearing this Bhauma Leela, Krishna's Naimittik Leela also, Krishna Prem may come. Brahmara eka dine tino eka bar avatirna hayya karen prakata vihara. Brahma of Lord Brahma, ek one dine in the day, tino he, ekabar, one time, avatirna descended, haya, karena prakata vihar, pastimes. Once in a day of Brahma, he descends to this world to manifest his transcendental pastimes. Once in the day of Brahma. That's why now this particular verse is told in order to explain Anarpita Charim Chirat. Long time this prem was not bestowed. How long? Only once in the day of Brahma he is coming. Understand? So, Gaura Krishna, who is coming in the mood of Radharani, comes only once in the day of Brahma. So how this, like Srila Bhakti Rakshakshadhar Maharaj, he explains to us this Gaur Gadadhar Tattva. Gadadhar is the ashray, shelter, and Gaura is the vishay, enjoyer. Understand? So Gaura Gadadhar. Means Gadadhar is the receptacle of love. He is the carrying the love for Krishna in his heart. And Gaura is the enjoyer. But Vishay has taken the mood, the nature of Ashray. That is Gaura, both shelter and enjoyer combined. Although Krishna is the enjoyer, he has taken the mood of enjoyed Radharani. He has taken the mood of shelter. When Krishna assumes the characteristics of Radhika, he is Gaura. Try to understand this. When Krishna assumes the characteristics of Radhika, he is Gaura. The inaugurator of Nama Sankirtan, that is Gaura Narayan. Now, who's preaching Nama Sankirtan? That is Gaur Narayan. He is Vishay Avatar, the incarnation of enjoyment. Gauranga is Radha, Krishna combined. Is Krishna in the mood of Radhika? He has accepted the nature of Radhika. When he is searching after himself, trying to test what sort of ecstasy is in himself, that self-searching Krishna is Gauranga. Understand? Krishna trying to find out his own sweetness, that is Gauranga. He is trying to understand himself. What sort of ecstasy is within him? Krishna in the mood of his own devotee, that is Gauranga. Introspection, self-seeking, searching for his own wealth. He is also distributing it to others. He is inquiring about himself and distributing that personally to the public. That is Gauranga. Showing how he should be served by serving himself. He is demonstrating to the public how he should be saved, how he should be served, for what he took the mood of Radharani to search after himself. What is there? Why should others come to him? What is he that so attracts them? And then he is giving himself to others. Krishna is Guru. When Krishna himself is Guru, there is Gauranga. Guru Rupa Hari Guru, Guru Rupa Harim. So Gadadhar Pandit is Radha Bhava Tuti Suvalitam. The entire wealth of Radharani's feelings, her sentiments, mood, and even her luster were taken by Krishna. Radharani voluntarily gave all these things. I can't allow you to roll on the earth on your body. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will roll on the ground in ecstatic love of Krishna, then Radharani say, I shall enfold you. I will cover you. Because you will roll on the ground, which may have pebbles, thorns. It might hurt your soft skin. So I will enfold you. I will cover you. That emptiness we find in Gadadhar Pandit. He is running after Mahaprabhu as his shadow, but he is not poor. It is his wealth that he has given Mahaprabhu in such a dignified position. So we see that Radharani, Krishna cannot, they say that Krishna stole the mood of Radharani. That's not possible. But Radharani, on her own accord, gave those moods, some of those moods to Krishna to experience. Understand? And that is Gauranga. So, Satya Treta Dwapara Kali Chari Yoga Jani, say Chari Yoga Divya Eka Yoga Mani. Divya. Divya Yuga. Satya Yuga, the golden age. Treta Yuga. Then Dwapar Yuga. Then Kali Yuga, Chari Yoga, the 4 ages. Jani, we know, say these Chari Yoga in the 4 ages. Divya, divine, Eka Yuga, 1 age, Mani, we consider. We know that there are 4 ages, namely Satya, Treta, Dwapar and Kali. These 4 together constitute one Divya Yuga. So these 4 ages is called Mahayuga or Divya Yuga. Ekatara Chaturyuge, Eka Manvantara, Chauda Manvantara, Brahmar Divasa Vitara. Ekattara, 71, Chaturyuge, in the cycle of 4 ages. Eka, 1, Manu Avatar, the period of a Manu. Chauda, 14 Manvantara, periods of Manu, Brahma of Lord Brahma. Divasa, a day, Vitara within. 71 Divya Yugas constitute 1 Manvantara. And there are 14 Manvantaras in 1 day of Brahma. So, a Manvantara is a period controlled by 1 Manu. The reign of 14 Manus equals the length of 1 day, 12 hours in the life of Brahma. The night of Brahma is of the same duration. These calculations are given in the authentic astronomy book known as Surya Siddhanta. An annotated Bengali translation of this book was compiled by the great professor of astronomy and mathematics, Bimal Prasad Datta, later known as Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami, who was our merciful spiritual master. He was honored with the title Siddhanta Saraswati, translating Surya Siddhanta, and the title Goswami Maharaj was added when he accepted sannyas, the renounced order of. So basically, this book Surya Siddhanta is very accurate book. Even the NASA calculations may be inaccurate, but this particular book, Surya Siddhanta, cannot be inaccurate. Understand? So he was expert in this Surya Siddhanta book. And the head of the department of astrology, astronomy, and mathematics was kept vacant in Calcutta University for Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. But he never accepted the HOD, head of the department's position. He said, I have not come to this world to calculate the astronomical distances and the velocities of the planets. I come to this world to deliver the conditioned souls and take them to Golok Vrindavan. So he was very exalted personality. But anyways, in one day of Brahma, 14 Manus come. The current Manu we are talking about is Vaivasvata Manvantara. This Vaivasvata Manvantara, the son of sun god, Vaivasvata Manu is ruling now, and we are under Vaivasvata Manu. So, but there are different Manus also there. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes only once in the day of Brahma. After 14 Manus have elapsed, once he comes. Vaivasvata Namaya Mantara Sataisa Chaturika Taharantara. Vaivasvata Nama, named Vaivasvata, it is Saptama, 7th Manvantara, period of Manu, Sataisha, 27 Chaturyuga, cycles of 4 ages, Tahara of that. And the present Manu, who is the 7th, is called Vaivasvata. The son of 7 into 4,320,000 solar years of this age have now passed. The name of the 14 Manus are as Manu, Swarochisha Manu, Uttam Manu, Tamasa Manu, Raivata Manu, Chakshusha Manu, Vaivasvata Manu, Savarani, Daksha Savarani, Brahma Savarani, Dharma Savarani, Rudra Putra, Rudra Savarani, Rocha, and Deva Savarani, and Bhautaka, Indra Savarani. So basically, we are in the period of Vaivasvata Manvantara. So Vaivasvata Manvantara will last 71 Chaturyugas, out of which 27 Chaturyugas have now passed. Understand? 27 Chaturyugas have passed. So maybe 28 is going on. Understand? So 28 Chaturyuga is going on. In that, Krishna came, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. 28 Chaturyuga. Understand? So in one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus, and each Manvantara is 71 Chaturyugas. And in this, we are in the period of 7th Manu, and within the 7th Manu, lifespan is again 71 Chaturyugas. Out of them, 27 Chaturyugas have elapsed. 28 Chaturyuga is going on. 28 Chaturyugas, now Kali Yuga is going on. Kali Yuga is also only began 5,000 years ago. So another 427,000 years of Kali Yuga remaining. And in that one, Swayam Sri Krishna came. Ashtavimshe Chaturyuge Dwapare Rasheshe Vrajera Sahite Haya Krishnera Prakashe. Ashtavimshe, 28th Chaturyuge, in the cycle of 4 ages, Dwaparera of the Dwapar Yuga, Seshe, in the end, Vrajera Sahite, along with the Vraja. Haya is Krishner of Lord Krishna, Prakashe, manifestation. At the end of the Dwapar Yuga, of the 28th Divya Yuga, Lord Krishna appears on earth with the full paraphernalia of his eternal Vrajadham. Now is the term of Vaivasvata Manu, during which Lord Chaitanya appears. First, Lord Krishna appears at the close of the Dwapar Yuga of the 28th Divya Yuga, and then Lord Chaitanya appears in the Kali Yuga of the same Divya Yuga. Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya appear once in a day of Brahma and once in 14 Manvantaras, each of the 71 Divya Yugas in duration. From the beginning of Brahma's day of 4,320,000,000 years, 6 Manus appear and disappear before Lord Krishna appears. Thus, 1,975,320,000 years of the day of Brahma elapse before the appearance of Lord Krishna. This is an astronomical calculation according to solar years. Understand? So, Krishna is so rare, you see. Krishna came after Brahma's day began, 1,975,320,000 years elapsed, then only Krishna came. How rare is Krishna's coming? And we are so fortunate that Krishna had come just only 5,000 years ago. And Mahaprabhu had come only also 500 years ago. And Srila Gurudev, Sripad Bhaktivedanta Dandi Maharaj, Namnishta Santosh, Aniruddha Das Prabhuji, and all these great acharyas and Vaishnavas, they are also present. Understand? So, the Gurudev is certainly present. Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivedanta Trivikram Goswami, they are all present, but not visible to us, but they are certainly present. Gaurkishore Babaji Maharaj also must be present. We cannot imitate the renunciation of Gaurkishore Babaji Maharaj. We cannot be like him, but we can hear about him. So, now we'll stop here today. Happy Ekadashi to all of you. Mind you that Vishwa Panchak is going on. Eat very frugally. Especially try to eat maybe dal and rice or sabji. Only permitted sabjis, at least 5 days. You should be little frugal and little renounced. Don't eat exotic vegetables during these 5 days. Simple vegetables which are like potatoes and which are allowed actually, which are always allowed. Radish and all that you can take, and dal and rice and sabji and chapati or millet. But don't take anything other than that, and especially avoid this mustard oil and all those things. But tomatoes, at least for 5 days, then you'll get the benefit of entire Chaturmas. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhu bevacha paridanam pavanebhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namah. I also offer my pranams to the lotus feet of Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhav Goswami Maharaj, very exalted Vaishnava. He was born in a Brahmin family and he was Guru of Srila Aniruddha Prabhuji, Srila Bhakti Gyan Bharati Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Bhakti Maharaj. His life history is also very inspiring, which can be downloaded from the website Vishuddha Chaitanya Vani. And you should read his life history, which is compiled by Srila Bhakti Gyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj. I offer my Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhav Goswami Maharaj, who is the Shiksha Guru of my own Gurudev, and Srila Gurudev has served him. Srila Gurudev has served him. And what to speak of Srila Babaji Maharaj, who was the great grand Guru of my spiritual master. And he took away all the obstacles in the life of Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. Whenever Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj used to speak about Srila Babaji Maharaj, he used to weep that he took away all the obstacles. There were attempts were made on my life, but nothing happened to me, only by the mercy of Srila Babaji Maharaj. He always protected me. He used to weep like this. He used to do bhajan in the toilet so that he will not have to smell the disgusting smell of lust coming from the hearts of staunch materialists. Such a renounced personality. Hare Krishna. Vanchata Patruvesha Kripa Sindhu Veja Pratana Pavane Vaishnavabhyo Namah. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandavat Pranams. Anyone has any questions, you can please unmute and you can ask Maharaj.
I'm seeing some new devotees joining, Nicole. And so I will welcome all of you to on board attend the classes. That inspires me. Attend also Sripad Dandi Maharaj classes. More the better, because Harikatha should be shared, discussed, and advertised in WhatsApp and Facebook, so that more devotees will take benefit of this Harikatha. Understand? So I welcome you, please, and I'm very happy. What country you from? Didi, what
Hare
country you from?
Krishna.
Uh,
South Africa.
oh, South Africa. Acha, acha. Very good. Welcome to this Harikatha. Which you live in Durban or Johannesburg?
Johannesburg.
Oh, Johannesburg, Joburg. Okay, okay. Because we came with Sripad Dandi Maharaj. There is one devotee by the name of Shubhananda Prabhu, and his mother is took a Harinam from Shubhananda Prabhu is disciple of Gurudev, but mother of Shubhananda Prabhu took Harinam from Sripad Dandi Maharaj. So we come to Johannesburg. There is one Didi. She is disciple of Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj. Two Matajis are there. They have some farm also. We went there also. So when we come to Joburg, there was a very nice devotee living in Joburg, but he left the world, I think, prematurely. Last year, I forgot his name. Very nice devotee. He used to pick us up, help us. Such a nice devotee, but suddenly I think he left. Yes. So, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Didi. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Vanchakal Padravesha Kripas. Everyone. That all. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. That was. So I'll give Jayadhwani now. Didi, okay?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
जय जय शिशु गुरु गौरांग गंधर्विका गिरिधारी शिशि राधा विनोद बिहार जी की जय। जय नितला वरिष्ठ जगत गुरु श्रीमद भक्तिदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज गुरुदेव की जय। नितला वरिष्ठम विष्णुपाद श्रीमद भक्तिदांत वामन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नितला वरिष्ठम विष्णुपाद श्रीमद भक्तिदांत त्रिविक्रम गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नितला वरिष्ठम विष्णुपाद श्रीमद गौरगोविंद गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नितला वरिष्ठम विष्णुपाद श्रीमद भक्तिदांत स्वामी महाराज की जय। आचार्य के श्री श्री श्रीमद भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। जगत गुरु शिल भक्ति विलास तीर्थ गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। जगत गुरु शिल भक्ति दैत माधव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। मिथिला पृष्ठम विष्णुपाद श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद ठाकुर की जय। वैराग्य मूर्ति शिशिला गौर किशोर बाबा जी महाराज की जय। सच्चिदानंद शिल भक्तिनाथ ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से गौ श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपी गो गोवर्धन द्वादश मनात्मक शिशु मंडल की जय। गंगा जमुना तुलसी भक्त देवी की जय। जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन चक्रजू की जय। सर्व विघ्न विनाशन भक्त विघ्न विनाशन नृसिंहदेव भगवान की जय। भक्त प्रभु श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। चारों संप्रदाय की जय। चारों आचार्य की जय। चारों धामों की जय। आकर मठरा श्री चैतन्य मठ की जय। केशव जी गौड़ी मठ की जय। रूपसनाथ गौड़ी मठ की जय। श्रृंगनाथ गौड़ी मठ की जय। अन्य शाखा मठ समूह की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। त्रिदंडी स्वामी श्री श्रीमद भक्तिदास दंडी महाराज जी की जय। नामनिष्ठ संत श्री अनिरुद्धदास प्रभु की जय। मठेर से वृंद की जय। ब्रजमंडल परिक्रमा की जय। श्री उत्थान एकादशी की जय। श्री विश्व पंचक की जय। समागत भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Hare Krishna. So this is the Jayadhwani we gave, and please forward to a group Vishaka Didi. So Nicole will also have it, and you can learn it, memorize by heart. Certain shlokas, some books. There is a website we have, purebhakti.com. Please download Gaudiya Giti Guchha, a song book, learn some songs, Jaiva Dharma, and also Vrajamandal Parikrama, from which Sripad Dandi Maharaj is speaking. There are many books online. Read at your leisure and spend your time in learning this philosophy. It's a very vast path. It's actually a very long path. But we have to make a beginning somewhere, either in this lifetime. So we are very fortunate. We are born in a very Indian family in South Africa. So I think, but anyway, whether you are born in China or India or any family, your job is, it is a dharma of every living entity, not just Indians, but every living entity's dharma is to serve Krishna. Even ants' dharma is to serve Krishna. Understand? Everyone is qualified to practice Krishna bhakti. There are examples of living entities living in monkey body, living in bear body, living mouse body, also doing bhakti, practicing limbs of bhakti. Understand? So some benefit will come. Even I have seen that they have propensity. living entities have propensity for bhakti, and all living entities have propensity for bhakti. When Sripad Dandi Maharaj was in Hawaii, he used to give water to two plants. One plant he used to pluck flowers for service of his Thakurji, and one plant he used to give only water but not pluck flowers from that flower-bearing tree. And he saw that the same plant, almost the same age, both the plants were identical, but one plant which was used in service of Krishna, whose flowers were used in service of Krishna, that plant was bearing more flowers than which he did not use the flowers from. Means that flower sensed, that flower bearing tree sensed that I am being used in service of Krishna. So he wanted to give more. But the other plant didn't want to give because he thought, what is the use of my life? My flowers are not being used for Krishna's seva. So Maharaj told me this, that you see the plants also have consciousness. They realize that I am not being exploited here, but I am being doubted. My seva is being given to the service of Krishna. This will rescue me from this species of plant, and I will become human being or maybe elevated to Golok by this seva. Understand? So all living entities on the march of progressive evolution, they want to go to Golok Vrindavan. Understand? We are all the travelers on the path of Golok Vrindavan. So we should try to help each other. This is what is this class is all about. Sripad Dandi Maharaj also told me that I told him that it is impossible to travel, Maharaj, anywhere in you forget about the United States or South Africa or Russia or Malaysia. It is not even difficult to travel within the states of India. Last year there was a complete ban on travel, interstate travel, because of Corona. Then Maharaj said there is online meetings are there and you can give classes there. That will be easier for you. And he said, and he assisted me, he gave me the necessary equipment. So, I'm indebted to Srila Gurudev and Sripad Dandi Maharaj, Srila Nidhit Prabhuji, and all of you. Vishaka Didi also diligently managing these classes, and the team is behind her. So that's very nice. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatul Vishakrupasandigatpatyanam. Hare Krishna. That also.
Hare Krishna, Dandavad Prams. Thank you so much. Sripad Bhaktivedanta Vishnu Daivata Mj ki jai.
Vishaka Didi ki jai. Dandavats. Hare Krishna. All of you ki jai. Hare Krishna. Dandavats.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, dear devotees, for joining today. And we'll see you all tomorrow for Sripad Bhaktivedanta Dandi Maharaj's class. And then thereafter again on Sunday with Srila Bhaktivedanta Dandi Maharaj again in the morning. And in the evening with Sripad Bhaktivedanta Vishnu Daivata Maharaj for Bhagavad Gita as it is. So thank you all for joining and thank you for bearing us at the times. And please forgive us for any offense. Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavad Prams Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare